Hello. My name is Tony Chinqui,
And I'm Frances May Harden.
and welcome to Social Rounds, the podcast in which two of the happiest surgeon dropouts you'll ever meet give our unsolicited opinions on the states of medicine, the world at large, pop culture, and whatever else we happen to find interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Frances May, this is so funny. We're going to take you guys behind the curtain here. So, we actually are recording this episode before Valentine's Day, but it's coming out the week after Valentine's Day. And so I will ask Frances May, now you could put yourself in your shoes next week. If Valentine's Day goes great and I were to ask you, how was your Valentine's Day? How would you respond?
Wow. I thought you were going to be like, what are you getting Colin? And it won't spoil but since he edits the episode, it just would spoil the surprise. So that's true.
But there will be surprises, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something. I definitely I believe in romance. I know that in 2026, male-centered stories are so out, male-centered living, but I really hope that people know that even though it's detrimental to the brand, I shout out Colin and give him credit because, he really shows up as a partner and a husband. And I never give white guy credit where it is not due.
It's very
So
hard to
you
do.
just gotta
Yeah.
take my word for it. I know that you don't
Mm.
think Colin's real. He's just like an AI robot.
No, he's your pleasure and comfort bot. That's very effective. Speed, outstanding, and weekly. But it sounds
Yeah,
like you had a
yeah, so we
significantly lovely Valentine's Day. You both took care of each other. You were just like, "Hey, you're the right kind of white man to have in my life. You don't upset me like the rest of them do."
that is
Those are the
kind of
those are
ho
the conversations I envision happening in your house.
that's what the Valentine's Day card says. That's the message inscribed in there. Verbatim, and then it just says, "Happy Valentine's Day," signed,
Great,
Frances
to the
May.
point. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, how about you? How was your future Valentine's Day
Yeah,
upcoming?
my Valentine's Day, they've kind of been similar over the last few years. It kind of starts to mean different things when Valentine's Day is just like kind of another weekend day that you have to chase small children around. There's just like, I think romance, if you want to keep it alive, romance kind of becomes distilled and more efficient. So you got to get your romance in the way works and just in the time that you have. And so, I had to make sure that the flowers were ordered. My wife is a flower person. Uh, she likes some nice flowers. I have the sense of I know what types of flowers she finds enjoyable. So I gotta make sure that
Oh,
was
I love
taken care
that.
of. It's not left to, like, the night before,
No,
you
because
know
you
what I
can probably
mean?
not get her favorite flowers the night
You
before.
can't
What
get them.
what are her favorites?
So she really likes lilies, she likes roses, she's into lots of different varieties, but I think you gotta make sure that the arrangement is pleasing. You can't just throw them in there willy-nilly,
No.
you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like she doesn't necessarily, I mean, she loves flowers in general. I don't think she's a big, dozen red roses sort of person.
Mhm.
She likes some life in that bouquet. And so, you kind of open up the color palette a little bit and,
Oh,
that sort of
that's
thing.
nice. Yeah, some
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's how we do flowers in our household. And she loved them. It was great. She also loves a card, with it doesn't have to be anything like heavy or like super sappy, but we do our version of sappy, that shows that we care and we see each other. And you fit that stuff in, like during the day when the kids are running around, and after we put them to bed. So yeah, I think Valentine's Day has come to mean something different, but also some things, don't change and are very familiar these days. So that's where we're at. So I hope everyone else had a great Valentine's Day with those you care about. If you're not booed up at the moment, you know, Hope you just, hope you didn't spend it just lamenting that you're single or whatever. Appreciate where you're at. Appreciate your friends on Valentine's Day. Appreciate your family members. You know, we don't often get a day that's like called out to be like, hey, today is love day. So share
Yeah.
that shit. So embrace that, I'd say.
Definitely one of my favorite Valentine's Day memories from medical school. Yeah, I spent it with one of my friends, and we had, like, one of the best Valentines that I've had. So definitely agree with appreciate your friends more.
Yeah, man. There's love all over the place. So go find it and celebrate it, guys. All right. So now that love is out of the way, we're gonna hop into segment number one. We're bringing back outside baseball. 'Cause we haven't done it in a while. So we're gonna do a super quick rundown of some stories of medicine out in the wild, which we feel are worth your time to hear. So first, here's a fun one. It's called I have titles for each of these. So this one's called Robo-Taxi Birth. So
Exclamation point.
exclamation point, guys. So there's a lady in San Francisco who went into active labor in the back of a Waymo taxi. So for those of you who don't live in cities that have these are like the totally autonomous, self-driving taxis, no human in sight. So she was on the way to the hospital, probably to get checked on this baby situation because she felt it was coming soon, when she realized it was go time in the back seat. And suddenly, like, there's a ring in the car, and the rider support team of Waymo chimes in and starts talking to her like, hey, we received an alert about unusual activity in your vehicle. Are you okay? And so they were able to chat with her and be like, okay, we'll loop in 911. We'll make sure you're routed to the right hospital. The car starts turning and going where it's
That's
supposed to
crazy.
go. And she ends up delivering this baby in the back seat. And she gets to the hospital. They're able to bring her in. Everything's fine. Baby's fine. Mom's fine. So I got a lot of questions. This brings up a lot of strange questions and strange notions about our place in the world. But I mean, Francis May, I saw you go through a journey of emotions there as you heard this story.
Yeah, I felt all sorts of different things. I'm happy that mom and baby are okay. Some of these, like, I don't know if the medical word is like precipitous, but like the precipitous birth, very spooky to me. I will say this feels like it dovetails into the recent widely discussed Super Bowl ad for Ring.
Oh, I didn't even watch any Super Bowl ads this
Oh,
year.
yeah. No, the
I'm
one
way out
for
of it.
Ring is amazing. I'm gonna have to explain that one to you because it really, I mean, this level of the surveillance state where,
The
you know,
surveillance state is what got me about this story, dude. The fact that they and that's the thing in the article, they were asked like, "Oh, so how did you know she was in distress? What are the signals that you got?" And they were like, "That's proprietary. We
secret,
can't tell
yeah,
y'all.
for secret
That's a secret.
reasons.
For
We
secret reasons, we knew something was wrong." Like, whoa, huh?
Yeah, exactly,
Get
whether
out
it's
of here.
audio or video, I mean, maybe you could argue there's, like, sensory because that technology exists because, like, in my car, in the passenger seat, like, if I put a bag that's 50 pounds on there, it says, "Hey,
Yeah.
strap
It's like,
up your
put your
kid," or
seatbelt on.
whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, who knows how it's done? It definitely I already am very anti-Waymo, like, I've seen too many videos of somebody in a Waymo, like, in the middle of a flooded, lot where the water's, like, coming up to I mean, I just already am side-eyeing the whole thing, and, the
Have you
invitation
been in one?
no, no, and this,
I've
like, the
been in one.
privacy concerns here you
It's
have been?
wild. Yeah, I've been in one. When
No
I
way, I
visited San
won't get
Francisco, I was like, "Well, I gotta try it while I'm here."
no,
Well, yeah, I
no.
got into it. I mean, I had a good experience. The ride was real smooth. It seemed to obey the traffic laws, got me where I wanted to go, but it was very weird and it brought up a lot of questions. But yeah, I think the surveillance state question is thing one because like I wasn't sitting there thinking, okay, there's clearly cameras on me, there's sensors all outside, so there are probably sensors all inside this thing. Like, are like the days of like what else could set off this unusual activity back here? Like, hey man, are the days of getting drunk and making out with someone in the back of a taxi are they over? Because Waymo's gonna chime in and just be
Like,
like,
call
hey,
you? Yeah,
yeah,
is
he's
that
like,
a
hey,
boner killer if
yeah,
the
yeah, just
Waymo team
like, hey
calls?
guys, you all right? Or you acting unusually back there, and be like, yo, like, take it easy, family. Like, get out of my back seat.
It's not your back seat. That's why I won't get into a Waymo. Because that's like when
That's
you
true.
go into the ocean
Someone else's back seat.
and a shark bites you. It's like you went into its home. I'm not going to get into this big robot that we
Mhm.
now know is collecting all sorts of data.
What I would say though, one thing I thought about is that if we had this scenario running side by side with a live human um driver who all of a sudden has a person giving birth in the back seat. What who are you safer with getting to the hospital? Because I feel like when things suddenly ramp up and there's crazy urgency and you're all of a sudden an emergency driver and you didn't expect to be, you probably make more mistakes and you might not get there as safely. Whereas the machine does not feel that urgency and will continue to follow the directions, not get emotions involved.
I think that it depends on the person, right? Like we know some people are calmer under pressure. So it probably depends hugely on the person. But also, with the way I would probably regard Waymo is that when conditions are fine and normal, I agree with you. It's emotionless. It could just probably beat any person in like ideal conditions. But like I said, I'm just seeing a lot of videos of, the Waymo being confused in flooding and water conditions, or
Hmm.
when somebody's like standing outside of it in front of it with a gun, like that's confusing to the Waymo. I don't want to be put in that position. Whereas
I
a
heard,
person I actually think will be like, I see with my eyeballs, there's a person with a gun standing outside of this car, and I would
yeah,
probably want to be leaving with them.
I saw a supplemental story about Waymo. That's a bummer, but like to your point, like there was like a story that a Waymo like ran over a cat, which is
No.
guys, that is hard to do. Like that to me, that says the car was hunting the cat because cats get out the way. Like they know their
Yeah.
surroundings. They are a very good animal at getting where they need to go and getting out of danger's way. But one of them hunted a cat. I don't like that. I don't need the machine going rogue because I think that possibility exists. But anyway, the baby and the mom are safe. But should you get in a Waymo? Should you not? You got our opinions. Francis May says stay away. I say, I might roll the dice. But like whatever you want to do, just know that I mean, anytime you get in a car, whether it's with a Waymo or with a person, you're taking your life into your own hands. So it's just, do you want to do it without having to chat with the person, or do you want to do it in a way that you're part of the surveillance state? Who knows?
I feel
Anyway,
like I have to say, before you even move on, I'm not suicidal. So if they find me, it might have been like big car robot industries.
yeah, they can't. The thing is, they're listening right now, so we shouldn't discount that fact. So we're probably on the kill list for Waymo right now. They just like to take us out so that they can continue to grow
I love
without
Waymo. Colin,
detractors.
Colin, cut out the previous parts. I love Waymo.
Yeah, coupons for Waymo coming up for you guys later in the episode. Next clip, not clip, story. So it's more car stuff, which is a thing now apparently. And this one I've titled "Your Hair Clip Can Kill You." So I've never had occasion to wear these things, but I'm familiar with them, and I assume you're familiar with claw clips, Francis May, for the hair,
Mhm. Mhm.
especially when the hair is long, goes up. They're like the big ones that you like,
Yeah,
they clip in hard
totally.
back there, right? So apparently, doctors are recommending that people don't wear them while you drive because of the nightmare scenario where you get in a car accident and your head slams back against the headrest. So you can imagine what happens. There are reports of people getting these massive scalp lacerations, even penetrating wounds of the skull from your hair clip. So they're saying, fuck your fashion sensibilities and get a scrunchie instead. Or better yet, just brush your hair and let that shit down. My question is, you know, I don't like this. I don't like them infringing on our fashion rights and our rights to put our lives in danger in the car, you know, in the name of looking good. Like, where does it end, Francis May? Like, where do we draw the line?
Yeah, I can see that I feel like you feel infringed upon because you're like, I like girls in claw clips, and I don't want to imagine the world where everyone's so
I'm not
afraid of a
talking
degloving
about like
injury.
that I have to like feel bad for me because I have to look at women without claw clips. I'm saying for me, like,
Yeah.
grooming happens for everybody in the car.
No,
And
totally.
none of it I'm sure is safe. But,
Totally.
get out of my car.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought we had free will. Okay. I think that this is very interesting. I'm intrigued by your story. I can totally picture it, so having seen and treated many degloving injuries, I had never thought of this. I previously viewed
Yeah,
it
I
as
honestly
kind of a
never thought of it either. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to view it as like a harmless accessory. Now I will add it to my list of neuroses. Because, like, what this reminds me of, you got to take the good with the bad in life. And it's frankly a miracle that those of us who ever experience like anxiety or neuroses make it outside. I don't make it
Truth.
outside some days.
That's
But,
true. You're
like,
not outside much.
no, and I don't, I drive less and less every week. Like, I kind of am the answer to, like, well, what if it isn't safe to wear a claw clip and drive your car? Then you become a hermit like me, I guess. But I will say, I think about this all the time ever since, like, in medical school. I think I was probably an M3 when I first saw one of these injuries, which was a woman with a full bladder who got in a car crash. If you guys have not all heard about this, the risk is, of course, it's like distended and it can explode
Fuck. I was
from the
hoping you weren't going to say
lower,
that.
yeah, from the lower, seatbelt of the two pieces of the seatbelt. It can literally, and so like, I've seen that. I was like on surgery and a young, healthy woman came in with that injury. I now, just for the rest of my life, like, if I'm getting in a car, what do we think? Is my bladder distended? Like, would it explode if I was in a car crash? I'm just saying, I have my checklist. Add claw clip, do I have something that's at all a sharp edge that could deglove me in an accident? I'm always thinking, because for comfort and my long legs, like, I will want to put a foot up, by the dash. If it's like a road trip situation, I do want to do that. And occasionally I do it, but they tell you if you get in a car crash that way, it'll like make your leg explode, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many things. We probably shouldn't be in cars altogether, frankly.
Cars are hard. Cars are tough stuff. And I think, as you list out the multiple reasons you already have to stay away from the car, I feel bad for bringing this up now.
Yeah, you just like add
I'm
it
just
to the
like
list.
adding to the list. It's just like, but like that's the thing. Where does it end? Like honestly, the deal is cars are not safe. Baseline. Okay. Are we gonna get into a car crash in our lives? At least one? Probably. Like, hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully everyone's okay. But this is the way that most people get injured in the world is through car crashes, right? So it's just like, all right, bro, like I know whatever I do in the car, I'm taking my life in my own hands, okay? Everyone's trying their best to be safe, but we can't be safe in every way all the time. So, I mean, what? Like someone's gonna show up to the fucking ER and their long earring is like wedged into the side of their head, and they're gonna be like, "Well, you shouldn't have been wearing earrings in the car." Like, come on, man. Like, well, we gotta end it somewhere. That's what I think. I think people should wear your earrings, wear your clips, recognize the risk, try to be safe out there, but get big medicine out of the grooming and fashion routine.
No, I agree with that. Earlier when you were ranting though, I was like, this feels like a really long ad for Waymo. You're like, driving isn't safe. People are not super reliable. Do you want your claw clip mashed into your head? Waymo. And then it like
Less
flashes
clips to
across,
the
the
dome.
bottom of the
Yeah.
screen. I feel like you're legitimately angling for like a podcast sponsorship here.
Oh my god. I don't want I want nothing to do with Waymo, guys. Sorry if you're listening. Okay. I know Waymos crash too. They do. That's a deal. But no, I mean maybe people are looking good while they crash. Who knows? And they feel positive about that. Anyway, do with this information, guys, what you will. If this makes you ride a bike instead, it's your prerogative.
I mean, that's
We're just
dangerous as hell. Then you don't
sorry,
have a
bad
metal
example.
casing around
Well,
you when a
okay,
car
yeah.
hits you.
Bicycles, walking quickly. It's all dangerous, guys. Just stay home, I think
Staying
is
in the
the
house sounds good. That's That's my
Stay home,
approach.
don't move too much or too quickly. Okay? That's the moral of the story. That's what Frances may want for your life. So last story is titled "Surprise Ozempic Pregnancies," which I think this is a good one as a PSA. So GLP-1 meds, they're everywhere right now. Like lots of people are on them, and new effects and interactions with our bodies seem to be like constantly being found, and like they just show up in the news every 2 minutes. And one of the latest, so women who are on drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro have been having surprise pregnancies even when they're on birth control. Why is this? Well, this primarily has to do with oral contraceptives. Okay. So, one reason is a gut absorption issue. So, part of the way GLP-1s work is that they slow your gastric emptying. So, basically, your stomach doesn't move food through it as fast. So, like, you feel full for longer. So, you don't want to eat more. But if you take oral contraceptives, the way they work and the way most medicines work is that they have to get into your small intestines where they can get absorbed into your body. Like absorption doesn't happen in your stomach. That's just where acids break shit down. And so your oral contraceptives are just getting broken down by your stomach acid for way longer than they're built to. And so they never actually get absorbed. And so even though you're taking your birth control, you're not getting any birth control. And so, that's oops number one. Now, oops number two, also, a group of women who have polycystic ovary syndrome, who have like irregular ovulation or no ovulation at all. And you may have been told by doctors that you're infertile, that you can't get pregnant. Thus, maybe you don't use birth control because that's what you've learned. But, a lot of folks with PCOS are overweight. And so you start taking the GLP-1s, it starts decreasing your body weight, your body fat. It improves your insulin resistance, and all of a sudden your ovaries are one of those things in your body that's just like they'll wake up when they think like, oh, it's a great environment now to be ready to have babies. So like people's cycles have been all of a sudden starting up again, when they haven't had them for their entire adult lives. And so oops, you can get pregnant now in very short order because the way these drugs work on your body is very, very quick. And so, yeah, that's the situation. That's the PSA for these. Francis May, what do you think about this updated information?
Yeah, great PSA. I think that, the unexpected pregnancy, again, very spooky to me. I'm still very much at the point where, like, when my friends get pregnant, I'm like, another teen pregnancy. Teen pregnancy took another one of us. That's how much I'm, like, still there. I think that it's interesting because I increasingly do see these stories of women who have been diagnosed with and really struggle with infertility, then going on to spontaneously conceive. One of the more famous stories recently has been Claire Danes. She got pregnant at
Mm,
44, and she just
mm,
did some interviews talking about, like, her shock and her shame because she actually said, like, quote, "I felt like I got caught fornicating past the age that we're allowed to do that," like,
mm.
when she was 44, and this was, like, after prior rounds of IVF for her 2nd kid and all this stuff. So, it is pretty interesting, GLP-1 related or not, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like the takeaway is watch your back always.
Yeah, watch your back at all times. Another thing to be scared of, guys. This is the fear podcast today, and we're just, we're adding things to the list of reasons why you should be afraid of your life at all times. But yeah, the PSA is just be aware, ask your docs, don't ever start, medicines like these without, you know, a doctor consultation. I know there's like a million ways to get them, that, you may or may not need, or they may or may not require you to actually speak to a medical
Yeah.
professional. They'll just kind of like, put you through the machine. So definitely, if you're going to start them, chat with someone who knows what they're talking about, so that they can advise you. Because you don't want oopsie pregnancies. They're everywhere. And yeah, we can end with a final segment, which I call one cool thing. So basically, just one thing that either of us has either discovered or rediscovered recently that we think other people should try. I can go first. So
Yes.
I'm a video game person as well. Me and Francis May, I think we have different sensibilities in our video games, but I recently played this video game. It's called Dispatch, and it rocks. And basically, it's like the kind of video game where you're almost kind of playing a TV show. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure sort of game where you're mostly kind of like choosing different dialogue options, and then the story and the endings like and your relationships change based on what you do. But the story of it is really, really fun, and it's like an animated show with like the quality of any anime out in the world right now. And it's basically about this guy who used to be a superhero, but like his super suit broke, and so now he works for this call center that sends out superheroes to the city, and he's the dispatcher for these superheroes who are like all just like reformed villains. It's so funny and really, really a great time. And so I would recommend anybody to play it.
Well, this looks so good. And and it's not like overly violent. I thought that you were gonna, stuff like
No,
Red
there's
Dead
no
Redemption.
you're just kind of watching stuff. Sometimes there's like superhero fights and stuff, but like that's not how it goes. I think you'd really like it actually.
No, it looks really fun. I'm super interested. Okay. The last time I played like a choose your own adventure like that, have you heard of Catherine?
I've heard of that. I didn't play it, but I heard like from a few years ago, like there were all these awards it
Yeah,
won
it's
and stuff like that.
it's older for sure, for sure. It's a puzzle video game, but it is like very choose your own adventure. It follows Vincent Brooks, a man who is beset by supernatural nightmares while torn between his feelings for his longtime girlfriend.
That's tough
I
to be
guess,
beset in that way. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to be beset, but I do love stories about like girls terrorizing these men. It's a tale of love, betrayal, and the terror of commitment. Catherine's pretty interesting.
So
Like, you may
pretty,
like it if
pretty,
you like.
pretty, pretty light themes. That's cool.
Okay, well, thank you for the rec, because I'm going to check out Dispatch.
Yeah, check it out.
I feel like my cool thing recently, I was on the road for like 2 weeks. I'm leaving soon on the road for 2.5 weeks. I am trying to get so hard back into my tea ritual at home. We have a tea
Mm.
bar, just like getting a hot pot of water and making my teas throughout the day. I have like a whole scientific method. I'm very caffeine sensitive, so after noon I won't do any with caffeine, but we have a lot of herbal teas. We definitely do peppermint like after dinner, then a chamomile, which is for night with a little bit of valerian root like sprinkled in there. Just literally like 3 discrete pieces of valerian root, nothing too crazy, but it's so nice, and, like, whenever I'm on the road now, I'm just like, "Ah, this tea is for the birds," and I just wanna be home, sitting in my own space, drinking from my own tea bar.
So yeah, man, get you a tea bar, guys, or experiment with different types of tea. I like that you got like you got root in there. You're not just messing with leaves. Like you're getting in there, getting different properties out of your
Yeah.
teas.
Valerian root is they also call it nature's Xanax.
Sure. I mean, who doesn't want that?
Everyone wants that.
So yes, this is your podcast for sleepy teas. The sleepy tea that you'll need given all the new fears that you have that we help to give you. So you're welcome, guys. Those are our cool things. Try them out. Let us know if you like them too, or if you have cool things that you'd like to share. And with that, another successful and legendary episode of Social Rounds comes to an end. Prentice May, please.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and leave us a review. Check out our website, hippocratic-collective.com, for more shows and content like this. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.